Hello, everyone. Moore here, and today I want to talk about disassociation. And this type of disassociation I want to talk about is disassociation in between your ego and your self. I mean, or your inner self, or more specifically, your exterior self, which I'm gonna call the ego, or I'm gonna switch in between exterior self and ego, just so you guys get the point, and the inner self, or I would just like to call it self, but inner self. Um, Anywho, I guess let me start off by giving you guys some examples. So, an example of your inner self is that voice that you listen to or you talk to sometimes. Or you probably definitely don't listen to it, but it definitely talks to you. Your sort of inner reasoning, your gut feeling, your instinct. That's sort of what your intuition. That's what I sort of refer to your inner self. And your exterior self is the person that you are in life, the person that you know are the very sociable you, or whatever person that you show on the outside. If I was to talk to you and get whatever vibe that's whatever vibe you're trying to portray when you're walking around the streets and talking to people, the person you are at school, the person you are, the sociable you. That's your ego or exterior self. Now, disassociation between these two can be bad for a couple of reasons, but let me just give you guys a couple of examples of why that can be upsetting. So, I had a friend, a very nice girl. Met her working at a job, but the problem, she was very nice, and she wanted to, go to school. She wanted to go to school. She was telling me, like, yeah, like when I have time, like I want to be able to go back to school. And I was like, like, that's great. Like, if you want to go back to school, I think you should. She was like, oh no, like I can't. She would just tell herself, like, no, I can't. Like, come on, like she'll look at me crazy when I say something like that. So I'm like, you know, it got to be something wrong here. I never knew why until I realized it's probably just a case of disassociation in between herself and her exterior self, because her inner self is like, always gonna tell her that you can do it. Why? Because this inner self is, like I talked about in the previous video, the universe. And the universe always wants to actualize greatness through its vessels. And if you are a living thing, or if you are a living thing, on this planet, then, or in anywhere really, I would say that you are a actualization of the universe and a vessel of the universe. So therefore, it wants to do its damnedest to make sure that it can do that. So it's gonna tell you things like your inner self is gonna be like, yeah, sure, like insert your name here. You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you, and we're gonna, like, if that's what this is what we want right now. But your exterior self, your ego, for her at least in this situation, was a very negative one. She felt like she couldn't do it because of the exterior factors that plays a part. Not that's anything from her parents, her lifestyle, like working two jobs and stuff like that. Not working two jobs, but working a job and whatnot, money tight, yada 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 yada. You get the gist. Like, exterior factors causing her exterior self to feel as though she can't do it, causing an unfortunate disconnect in between her inner self and her exterior self. Now, another example on the flip side, when someone is too left into their inner self and not, and when their inner self and exterior self isn't aligned, is when, let's say, you're, I don't know, you see this girl that you think is kind of cute, and you act on impulse, and you kind of just blurt out something very weird. Now, if you would have checked in with your inner self and your exterior self, and did this sort of like two-step verification sort of thing in your head, you probably wouldn't have done that. And this is prompting me to talk about the necessary and the benefits of cohesion between your inner self and exterior self. Now, the reason why this is important, I hope it was apparent because of the last two examples that I gave, but I hope it's apparent now through this, explanation that, you see, when you can have this sort of, back and forth chatter between yourself and your exterior self, it's like exactly like I said, like it's like a two-step verification sort of system where you essentially, you know, you sense and you experience, and then you send that experience to, your inner self, and then your inner self is like, they give you some sort of feeling, right? Then your exterior self, it sends it back out there, and then your exterior self is like, oh, how do I feel about that? What do I want to do? And you will want to make sure that you align with your inner self, and the only way you can do that is by obviously figuring out who that self is. That's why, in the last video I talked about self, reflection, and that's literally, in my opinion, the first step to finding out who you are. So check out that video if you're interested. But back to what I was talking about, yeah, pretty much like you want to figure out who is this person inside. You want to, have a nice chat with them. So when you do get in these situations where you need to, have that two-step verification system, you actually trust the person that is telling you all these good things inside, because, you understand them. You had conversations with them. You yada yada. You get the gist. Therefore, in these situations, like when he sends you information or he sends you a good idea, and you have to, he's gonna hit your ego, or it's gonna hit your exterior self, and the choice is yours at that point. Usually, if you're in cohesion, you'll be like, okay, that's a good idea. I can do this. Or let's say, you're wondering if you should go talk to that girl, and he's like, yes. The inner self is like, yes, and then your exterior self is like, yes, and then it's all nice and cohesive. It's no, I'm not sure, it's none of that. You're very nice, quick, and easy about it, because you're sure of yourself. You trust the guy, or gal. But yeah, I guess I can really end the video here. Just short, sweet, simple explanation of what I think to be a very pivotal understanding, and let's hope that this video helped you understand a little bit about how to sort of first understand the difference in between your exterior self and inner self, but then find some sort of cohesion with one another. I hope this helped. I will be making more videos like this, so please stay tuned. And this is just another video of a long list of videos that I hope to do to help you all actualize. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.